Yo, today I just wanted to get my thoughts out there about XDefiant, or rather the maps of XDefiant. I know it's very early days for XDefiant. I've been playing a lot of it. I unfortunately haven't streamed it, but I will probably try. As this video goes out, I will probably try in the near future after that. However, I know that there's a lot of updates upcoming. They're talking about getting new maps. They're talking about fixing the fucking jump abuse bullshit. Sometimes as soon as you get like a slightly worse ping than someone else, it almost feels like they're just floating. You know, there's a lot of fucking problems right now, but I have been genuinely enjoying my time with it. Like it's been a really fucking fun game for me. And yeah, I kind of just wanted to go through the maps this time, and maybe we'll do more if y'all enjoy this type of content. I was trying to, you know, do something different, kind of like making new different types of content, and just kind of see what sticks. Just not only for like you guys, but also for like what kind of content I will enjoy making. So yeah, that's kind of the plan right now, and I've been kind of preparing to like make different videos, so that's why it's so important for me to hear what you guys think of this type of video, because like I said, I'll try a few different things and see what you guys enjoy and see what I enjoy making, and we'll go from there. I think that's a good starting point, because I haven't really done anything on YouTube for a long time. I've been more so doing streams, but also that has been very on and off lately. But yeah, let's get right into the fucking, you know, the fucking tier list, right? Starting off with Arena. Arena is an interesting map. It's one of those, like, it's a smaller map. A lot of people enjoy those smaller maps. I used to really hate this map in the beginning, because one of the main sites is on top of the platform in the middle of the map, which kind of fucking sucks. You just got shot from everywhere. You could get nade spammed from everywhere. People were just cooking nades, throwing them up there and kill you, which dissuaded people a lot from even standing on site, just playing for kills, which made me just run up there, be the only one on site, and then just get nade spammed and die. Like, what am I supposed to do? You don't have, even if you play Phantom, you don't have like a billion fucking shields, right? So I used to hate it, but then I played Hotshot on it, and that changed my mind. I do enjoy the map to a certain extent when it comes to Hotshot. Would I put it up in like S tier? Probably not. I would put it high if it was only a Hotshot map, but they did decide to make it an Occupy map as well, which definitely brings it down some. It's always the hardest to do like the first one, because that becomes kind of like your metric, like what you base the rest of your list off of. I'm looking at the other maps and I kind of have to put it somewhat higher, maybe a B, because I really don't enjoy it as an Occupy map. Next up, we have Attica Heights. While it looks nice, like visually, it is one of the better looking maps. The sites are, one of them is like down below on domination, and everyone just stands up top and shoots from above. Nades, you can stand on two different sides as well, and just like snipe from there through the bushes when they think they're safe hiding on the site. So you have to worry about so much. Same thing goes for like, honestly, all of the sites, because you get shot from so many different directions. As a Hotshot map, again, Hotshot is just a more forgiving mode for map design, I think. But I do think Attica Heights, for me, it gets a C. I could live without it, but I don't hate it. It's like middle of the road type shit. Dumbo. The next map, which is absolutely atrocious. It is probably the worst map in the game. It's fine if you just snipe and goof off, but I guess that argument could be made for any map, so I still think that it should be pretty low. Again, the B site for domination, for example. The middle site, there's a fucking container in the middle where you think you're safe, but you're not. Because there's so many angles you still have to worry about. There's that fucking scaffolding or whatever on the side that people just randomly show up on. I don't fuck with it. So I think I'm actually gonna put it on F. This is our first F of the day, boys. Echelon HQ. Now this is an interesting one. I've many times when I played with friends claimed Echelon as my map. My favorite map of the game. and I do really enjoy the map. However, now that I've played more, I have like 45 hours in the game, and what I've noticed is that whenever you play Occupy on this map, there are some sites that are just so annoying to hold. Like, it's just impossible. If you're up against good players, you just can't hold it. And I guess that's part of like what it should be. You shouldn't be able to like just hold a site forever, because then there would be more stomps. So I get that design philosophy, but it just doesn't feel good to play that map when it's too difficult. However, in Domination, when you have the 3 static sites that are just stationary, the B site is interesting. You can still die from many places, but instead of a scaffolding, it's a vent on B site, which makes it way easier to counter. Like, you can still get some value from there, so it's still a good way to like keep it balanced and keep it tough to hold the site, while also making it easy to punish that play. I feel like they really nailed the middle site on Echelon because of that. It just feels perfectly balanced. So with that being said, for Hotshot and for Domination, it's the best map in the game, hands down. For Occupy, it definitely is not. However, I think it gets hard carried enough on the other 2 modes for me to justifiably put it at S tier. Emporium is not a map I particularly enjoy, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like Emporium is kind of like trying to do too much. There's the whole outside area, and then there's scaffolding there, and then there's the whole inside area with the escalators, and then up top there's like a fucking hallway and just so many things everywhere. Sometimes you just spawn, run for 5 seconds, die, get sniped from somewhere, some hidden fucking place. Like, it's doing too much. I've never been a fan of it. I don't enjoy it in any mode particularly. It is not god awful, but it's just chaotic and not in a fun way. So I'm gonna put it at D. I just don't enjoy it that much. Next up is Liberty. Liberty is one of those maps that look good on the outside, but ends up just being a clusterfuck most of the time. It feels like the middle site is one of the more protected middle sites in the entire game, but it's all a lie somehow. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but you just get shot from everywhere, man. It's not a particularly enjoyable map in any sense, apart from the visuals. They're all just sniping from everywhere, and it's just a horrible experience. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking D or F for this one, but I can't come up with like massive, like particular things I hate about it in the same sense that I can with the scaffolding, like how they've made the scaffolding on Dumbo. I guess I'm putting it at a D for now. Mayday. I find it an interesting map because it's, from what I remember, the only map that has a site where you don't stand straight. It gives you a different feeling in a good way to me. And the outside is usually fun fights. They made the outside mostly fun. The plane can be very annoying to hold, so I actually really do enjoy Mayday. I've never seen it as one of my favorite maps, but looking at the maps we have to choose from, it is definitely top 5. I'm considering if I should put it at a B or an A. I actually think I'm gonna put it at an A. Here comes the first escort map of the day. Every single escort map have the same issue of like, if you're up against a good team, even if you are slightly better, they will be able to hold it down for that last stretch. It's so difficult. It's always like headshot abuse angles and just random bullshit. That being said, Meltdown is one of the ones I enjoy the least. Visually boring and just not an enjoyable map. The end stretch is one of the more annoying ones. I'm gonna have to put this one at a D tier. Now for the second escort map of the day. Midway. What I find annoying with Midway is actually the fucking clown music. It's so annoying, dude. I don't know why it annoys me that much. And I could turn it off probably by turning off music or something, but I'm too lazy. I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, Midway is just not a amazing map. It's decent. It's one of the maps on Escort that I feel the worst in the beginning with. Like, just getting picked off from any point. but that's usually for like the first 30 seconds if you're with a half competent team, and after that it's kind of fine for the most part. That being said, if I look at the other escort maps that we have remaining, there's only 4 if I'm not mistaken. So it's Meltdown, which we just rated, it's Midway that we're rating now, then it's Times Square, and then it's Zoo. I think that it's an overall good map. I'm gonna give it a C tier. Despite it being good compared to Meltdown, I still think it's 3rd of all escort maps. Now we come back to the smaller maps, the non-escort maps. The map of Noodleplex. It is one of the maps that I have exclaimed many times is the worst map in the game. I no longer think so. However, it's definitely down there. I think that Noodleplex has the same issue as many others, where they go too aggressive on the difficulty of holding B site. And it's one of the maps where if you don't play as a coordinated team, you will get shot from behind over and over and over again, because the inside push on the sides of the map is so easy to do that you'll just see people over and over and over again flanking you, because most of the time when you play a game like this, you will have a negligent team, and it ends up being a pretty horrible experience because of that, especially if you are up against snipers and flankers, because then you're gonna get sniped as you push forward, and if you try to snipe instead to like take care of the snipers for your team, that's when you get flanked because no one else is holding your back. Like it's like an evil cycle. That map makes teamwork with randoms harder than most other maps, in my opinion. Noodleplex could be fun if you play ranked with a pre-made team, with teammates you actually talk to, when people actually use push to talk, because 0 people, at least in European servers, use push to talk. So for that reason, as of right now, I will have to put it at D. I will put it at D. Low D. Next map, Bublito. I don't know how to fucking pronounce it, but it's one of the maps that I probably enjoy the most. I don't know about the most, but it's definitely on the upper half rather than the lower half of maps. It does kind of suffer from the same thing Arena does, where it has a very awkward middle site, where one angle is like headshot angle, basically, like that fucking container in the middle makes it very hard to like keep track of that. And then there's an opening on 2 different sides facing each other. And then there's also that awkward fucking slide hole. Like, how many times have you died on Bublito holding B site because a cleaner decided to slide in and press E before anyone headshotted him, before anyone killed him? That's kind of my thing on that. And the site is very small, so it's super easy to nade spam. It does have some cool ideas. The outside areas are cool. I like fighting on that map apart from that site. So unless you play Domination, I think it is, where that site is a big factor, you can kind of get away even on Occupy with just not giving too many shits about that particular site. I do really enjoy the map apart from that. So if we're supposed to judge them equally, I guess that would make it a B tier as well, next to Arena. And I think I'm happy with that. And now for the last non-escort map of the day, Showtime. The aesthetics of Showtime are superb. I really like the aesthetics. The old-time fucking old western vibe it's got going, really nice. The behind-the-scenes area with the fucking tube and neon lights, I'm pretty sure, also really nice. I do like the contrast. The contrast of that map is just so fucking good. However, holy shootout if you're holding B. Once again, getting sniped from that window, this window, behind, in front, because they all went fucking backstage on the sides, you know, and flanked you. Like, it can get pretty rough. It can get pretty rough. It's very common to not have a good time on that map, even if you're winning. That being said, is it a bad map? No. It's got a nice theme. So it's definitely got some stuff going for it. What would I rate it? I'm thinking it's between C and B for me. I'm leaning... It's either high C or low B. I think I'm gonna have to put it on high C. Also, one thing just quickly that I forgot to mention about Attica Heights, one of my main issues with it. It's the only map from my experience, where the sun... I also want to preface, I have turned off lens flare, chromatic aberration, every annoying fucking motion blur, every annoying visual thing you can. And even so, sometimes I just can't see my fucking crosshair because of the sun. I can barely see anything because of the sun. And now for Times Square. As an escort map, I do really enjoy it. There are some annoying parts about it, of course, as with all maps. As an escort map, I probably think this is the best one. As always with the escort maps, as I'll say time and time again, the last stretch can be a nightmare. Absolutely. But we're not getting away from that with these escort maps at all. So I can't be too harsh on that, considering that all escort maps are like that. I do, however, feel that there are better flanking opportunities on the last stretch than in any other map, which makes me inclined to put it higher. I think it's by far the best escort map because you do have the possibility, at least, of getting rid of the snipers without having to out-snipe. If you have a team that is actually doing something, either trying to push or to flank, you do have a big chance of actually pushing it the whole way. And for that reason, I think I'm gonna put it at A tier. Because it's not perfect, but it is as close to a perfect escort map as we have come. And now for the final map, which just happens to be the last escort map. What do I think of Zoo? I'm gonna be honest, it feels like it's getting slightly carried in my mind from the visuals. It is a more visually interesting, aesthetically pleasing map for me than Midway and Meltdown is, and even Times Square. Times Square isn't really visually pleasing at all. Visually, aesthetically, the best escort map by far. But what's more important in a first-person shooter, an online PvP first-person shooter? Gameplay, how the map plays out, how balanced it is, defender versus attacker. You're supposed to have fun on both sides, right? It needs to be balanced. And in that sense, I do feel like you have a bigger shot on this one than on Meltdown against a good team. I would basically put it, gameplay-wise, basically like next to Midway. But because of the fact that it looks cooler and it's just a nicer looking map, I enjoy being on that map more. I'm gonna have to put it at B tier. That is my XDEFIANT maps tier list for June. We'll see if I do this again when new maps come out. It all depends on how much you guys enjoy this content. And be sure to, if you disagree, leave it in the comments and maybe we'll discuss. Oh, didn't see you there. If you enjoyed this video at all, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it.